Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Judging 101 Nuts and Bolts from Behind the Tiny Lamp. My name is Damon Brown. I'm the creator of the series, and I'm a choreographer, show designer, and charity advocate from Moreno Valley, California, originally from Carmel, Indiana, and the Midwest. Today, we are going to talk about two things under one topic. The topic is judges. We're going to divide today's clinic into two sessions. Number one, what you should expect from judges that you hire. And number two, what judges should expect from you when you hire them. Because both are very important topics. If one was more important than the other, it would be what you should expect from judges. And so that's what we're going to talk about first. I have 12 different things. If you're a contest organizer, a competition host, a booster chairman or chairperson, I should say, if you are a student who is helping to host, if you're on a parent committee, all of these things will be very, very helpful to you in terms of expectations you should have from judges. So let's start. Number one, you should expect your judges to show up on time and show up prepared. If your judges don't show up on time, unless there's some extraordinary circumstance, a canceled flight, things like that, then that really isn't ideal. And if you have sent out materials ahead of time, please read our manual. Please look over our score sheet and let me know if you have any question. The judge, by agreeing to do your competition, should honor that and show up having read the manual or having looked over the score sheet to see if they have any questions. Number two, you should expect your judges to show up with a great attitude about the day. As judges, we shouldn't show up thinking, oh, wow, yeah, I'm so burned out on show choir, but, well, here I am, might as well. No, that doesn't work. Or, wow, I didn't sleep well last night. That bed wasn't very comfortable, or the heat was too loud when it kicked on and it kept me up all night. Judges should show up with a positive attitude, ready to be awesome for you. Third, you should expect judges to never make comments or write comments that students cannot hear. In other words, when they make recordings, critique recordings, there should not be anything that they say that represents your competition poorly by being ridiculing or belittling or just mean-spirited or nasty. If they need to say something more serious or direct to a director, they can do that in an email, in a phone call, in a personal conversation. Number four, judges should be expected by you to provide lots of comments, to provide lots of constructive criticism, and to provide as many helpful solutions as they possibly can. It shouldn't be comments that are not particularly specific or helpful. In other words, yeah, that thing you just did with your voices, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Or, okay, what I just saw, I'm not, yeah, I don't know about that. How is that helping anyone? Those kind of comments are not helpful. So it should be lots of comments, lots of compliments, lots of constructive criticism, and as many solutions as the judges can generate. Number five, there are 3 ways that you should expect all of us as judges to be fair. We should be fair, boom, when we score. We should be fair, boom, when we rank. And here's the one that a lot of times people don't think about. We should be fair, boom, in the amount of attention we focus on each group. In other words, there shouldn't be a group that is performing while you're pouring yourself coffee and putting cream and sugar in it and stirring it and shuffling your papers. There shouldn't be a group singing their ballad while a judge is like, looking down at their seat, checking a text message real quick. You should expect every judge to pay attention to every song of every group in every session, in every division, at every competition that they ever do. That's just fair, and it should be expected. Every group deserves that. Number 6, to never collaborate on scoring or ranking unless there's a caveat here. And it's a caveat that quite frankly, I never expected, but I do need to talk about this briefly. I judged a competition a couple years ago where in the judges meeting, the director of the competition specifically asked all of us judges to collaborate. I want you to collaborate. I want you to reach a consensus, a collaborative opinion on the rankings. And so we did. Now, I'm going to be very honest. That is not the way that I would do it. It's the only time in about 34 years, 35 years of judging that I've ever been asked to do that. But the host of the competition made that specific request, and he or she, I'm not going to state the competition, they had a right to make the rules of their own competition. And so for that day, I honored that. However, I am strongly recommending that you do not do that. Every judge should have autonomy to judge as they fairly see fit, based on the expertise that is why you hired them in the first place. So there should never be collaboration on scores or rankings. The only collaboration should be on things like best solo award, or if we're picking best stage crew or things like that. That's all. There should be no other collaboration. Number 7, judges should never complain about things that are largely out of your control. The auditorium is hot and there's nothing you can do about it. The day is running behind, but you and your boosters are doing everything you can to keep it on time. Maybe, the audience is cheering too loud. Yeah, we need to get over that. Now, if your DJs, your sound guys, are blasting music between groups, and I don't mean playing music. Playing music is great. Kids deserve the opportunity to party, to dance, to do the conga lines, the cha-cha slide. That's part of what makes going to a show choir contest so much darn fun. And it's part of why I still love it after over 40 years in the business. But if the music's blasting and you can't concentrate while you're trying to mark your scores, yes, it's fair to say, hey, could you bring that from 100 decibels down to 50 decibels, please? But judges should not complain, and you should expect that they don't complain. Number 8, this is a really big one. Your judges should be willing to sign a pledge of integrity and a pledge of fairness for the day. Now, if you want to design your own, knock yourself out. However, if you would like one to use as a roadmap or just to use, you can email me at Damon, D-A-M-O-N-B, Damonb at thirstproject.org. Damonb at thirstproject.org. And I have a pledge of integrity that I can send you that you can use. There are about 30 competitions around the country already using it, and it's gotten real favorable feedback so far. But anyway, every judge should be willing to go through point by point with you in the judges meeting, the pledge of integrity, your expectation that you want fairness and integrity woven into the fabric of the DNA of your contest. that it is essential for the reputation of your contest, for you to have a hugely successful fundraiser that at the end of the day has a lot of happy people that feel like they were treated fairly. You're never going to have everybody be happy, but as many people as possible. So, a pledge of integrity. Number 9, you need to expect that your judges will never make comments that are of no use to anyone. You guys need to buy new costumes. Well, they've already spent probably $10,000 or more on their costumes. They pored over catalogs and websites for months to find those catalogs. Listen to me. Yes, I'm 100 years old. But they pored over websites and they went, some people will fly to LA to the garment district, or to New York to the garment district, or Chicago, and they will hand select fabrics and stuff. They're not going to change costumes. So why say it? Now, if you need, as a judge, to make a comment about how a particular costume might work better by adding maybe a belt, maybe put some gloves, maybe a little handkerchief to make a color pop on a tux. Those are reasonable things to say. You should have chosen different songs. Well, the show's picked, the show's arranged, we paid a lot of money for it, we've rehearsed it for months, we're not going to change songs. Reasonable to say maybe cut a chorus or add a dance break, but make comments that are usable. You know what? I think your group you guys need more tenor basses. Duh. It's like, if there's 5 tenor basses up there and 25 soprano altos, the director kind of knows that already. And so you need to point out to your judges to make comments that are useful. Next, fraternization between judges and participants in the competition should be very limited. When we as judges go to these competitions, we see people that we know, that we miss, that we like, that we love, that we love to say hi to. And we would love to visit with them. Wrong time, wrong place. It's fine if somebody wants to go down and, hey, it's so good to see you, and how's your family, and looking forward to seeing your groups today, and maybe after the contest is over, we can chat for a little bit, and then go back up. No more than, a minute or so. Same thing if you see students that from Show Choir Camps of America or a place like that. Quick hi, hey, how are you? It's so good to see you. Good luck today, and then that's it. So there should not be fraternization. Number 11, you should expect your judges to be flexible and to roll with the punches. And because something unexpected is going to happen. The sound is going to go out. A bass amp is going to start working. The shout outs are going to take a year and a half to read. And you just need to expect judges to just roll with the punches. And then lastly, you should expect your judges to speak well of your competition before the day, during the day, and after the day. You've honored us by asking us to judge, by inviting us, by trusting us. We need to honor you back. So that is what you should expect from judges. Now, let's move on to the topic of what judges should reasonably and rightfully expect from you as a competition organizer, host, director, student volunteer, parent volunteer, booster member, booster president, committee chairman. Number 1, do your very best to keep things on time. Now, we understand the norm is for show choir contests to run late. There are some that don't, but most do. And we're prepared for that. If I see that a competition is supposed to end at 9:45, I'm planning on probably walking out of there at about 11. So that's, we kind of bake that into the cake. But do your best to keep it on time. Number 2, if the day, and this is related, if the day runs tremendously over, 2 hours over, 3 hours over, yes, I've judged some of those, you roll with the punches. But as a contest organizer, it's a really good idea, and I've had several competitions do this over the years. When a contest runs 2.5, 3 hours long, add a little special something to the judges' checks. You know, you said, hey, I'm asking you to judge from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. Well, now if it's 8 a.m. and they had to arrive at 7 a.m., and now it's midnight or 12:30, you've actually hired them for like 14 hours, and now it's been 16 and a half hours or whatever. You know, the idea of maybe sticking an extra $50 in their paycheck to thank them for their extra trouble is a real good, generous, well thought of thing by people in the judging industry. It just reflects well on your competition. Number 3, in terms of meals, you want to make sure that you have some healthy options. You know, if you're going to have the biscuits and gravy for breakfast, which is awesome, and I love biscuits and gravy, you might also have like some fruit, so that somebody that doesn't want anything heavy can have something light. You just always want to make sure that there are options, because your judges are going to be everything from the person that loves, you know, meatloaf and mashed potatoes and gravy, all the way to the person that, you know, wants 3 celery sticks, a raisin, and a cup of steam. All right. I stole the cup of steam thing from a friend. But you're going to have a wide variety of judges, and so you want to make sure that you have options that allow all of them to eat. And you also want to give judges a quiet place for their breaks. We have music and yelling and cheering and clapping and screaming in our ears all day. Man, do we appreciate a quiet room where we can call our family and say a quick hi, where we can just sit and talk about life and vacations and, you know, how was your Christmas and things like that. Or we can like check the football scores. We just need a quiet place to get away. Number 4, on behalf of every judge that has ever judged, please give us bathroom breaks. Please give us bathroom breaks. Sometimes judges are like literally, and I mean literally, running. And I'm not using that as an exaggeration or a figure of speech, running to go to the bathroom. That should not be the case. Every 2 hours, there should be a 5 to 10 minute break built in where the judges can get up, stretch, walk around for a minute or two, run to the bathroom, and just clear their head. It makes us better judges. Number 5, pay judges fairly. Ask around to a variety of competitions. I don't want to give you a number as to what you should or should not pay. And it might, you know, maybe judging a competition in Los Angeles is different from judging a competition in a rural community in the Midwest. Maybe, maybe not. But pay judges fairly, and also cover their expenses. Everybody remembers to pay airfare and motel and give us food the day that we're there. But sometimes an Uber is involved. Sometimes a rental car is involved. Mileage is usually involved. Parking at the airport is a big one that often goes unreimbursed. And it's embarrassing to a judge to have to kind of ask for it. You should just kind of volunteer it. And then I'm trying to think what else I had on this. Yeah, so because you're asking judges to not only in many cases give up 1 day, but 3, the day we travel out, the day we judge, and the day we travel back. Now, if it's a local judge, that part does not apply. But pay judges fairly, and pay judges that day if it's possible. If you can't do it because we have to fill out tax forms and the school board votes on it 2 weeks from Thursday, that's okay. Just let us know. just let us know. Next, create equality for all performing groups in each division. Don't change the sound levels in the middle of a division. Don't change the lighting in the middle of a division. Make it apples to apples, not apples to porcupines. Make sure that if you have a treble division with 6 groups, if the sound is not ideal, well, it needs to be the same for those 6 groups. And then if the next group is large mixed, and then you want to change the sound as long as they're not competing against those girls' groups, then go for it. Or if you have a Friday middle school competition and then a Saturday high school competition and you're changing sound between the 2 days, awesome, but not in the middle of a division, because your judges need to hear everyone against the same backdrop of sound and lighting. Next, ask about food allergies, okay? It's a bad time to discover that one of your judges is allergic to gluten when you're handing them homemade lasagna with garlic bread. You want to make sure that you know about food allergies way ahead of time. Most contests are good about this, but some forget. And it's also cool if you ask what kind of snacks people like. That's just a fun little extra. Hey, do you like trail mix? Do you like candy? Do you want some fruit? Do you want popcorn? Those kind of things. Do you like a certain kind of pop? Maybe I like, maybe I like grape soda, and well, you can always find some grape soda, that kind of thing. Okay, next. Groups or competitions usually are wonderful about giving judges a little gift during the day. But sometimes the gifts are things that as judges, we appreciate the gesture. We appreciate the thoughtfulness. We are grateful, but it's not necessarily something we can use. A pen holder, maybe a big paperweight, something like that. I'll tell you, in all honesty, the best thing that you can get judges, if you want to get them a little $10 or $15 gift, things like Starbucks cards, Walmart cards, Target cards. People love those things. So just an FYI, and put it in a little thank you card. Give judges clear instructions on what you expect from us before the day starts. In other words, we don't want to be 4 groups in, and this has happened to me, when somebody comes up to the judges and says, oh, I wanted to ask you guys if you could not give below a 6 on the score sheet. And every single judge has already given scores below 6. If you have a request like that, don't score below 5, or make sure that you always start every recording by saying the name of the competition and introducing yourself. Make those requests before the day starts, so that in the middle of the day, we're not like, what do we do? All right. Next. Please, 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 oh, please, 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 keep the audience away from the judges. Parents and students love to kind of act like they're stretching and lean. Oh my gosh, they got a 7 addiction. And I'm stretching, and oh my gosh, they have this group ahead of us. They're stupid. All right? Keep audience members, students, parents away from the judges. Nobody should be over our shoulder. Nobody should be listening to our critique to the absolute best of your ability. Rope off a couple rows of seats if you need to, but that is very important. 2 more. When you are hosting your judges, don't skimp on the accommodations for the judges. Now, I don't mean luxury accommodations in a 5-star hotel, although if you want to do that, let me be the first to thank you. And some contests do that, and it's awesome. You get little welcome baskets and all that. That's awesome. But I'm not saying to do that because it's a fundraiser and you have to be aware of the money that you're investing and spending. But give the judges a clean, comfortable, quiet place to stay. You want them rested and you want them showing up happy. And so get them a nice place to stay with a nice bed, and make them feel special, because you've told them by asking them to judge that you really respect their expertise on this or that topic. Lastly, let us know if a group had an issue during their show that was not their fault, so that we don't hold it against them. And let us know that right after their show is done. A couple examples. A microphone is not on. Now, that could be the group's fault, somebody turned it off, or that could be the sound man's fault. They didn't change the battery and the battery died. Well, one of those is judgeable. One of those is not judgeable. Another example. In the middle of the ballad, there's a loud banging noise backstage. That could be the stage crew who was moving props around carelessly and they messed up, and that is judgeable. Or it could have been the host dads helping another group come in to go next and they accidentally knock a chair over. Not judgeable. So make sure that we know if there was an issue, what the issue was, if it was an issue that was not their fault. That's the whole list, guys. That's it. So that is what you should expect from judges and what judges should expect from you. If you would like to follow me, Damon Brown, on Instagram, I am at Paper Jukebox. PaperJukebox, one word, at Paper Jukebox. And if you need to reach me for anything about this video, any of my other videos, or if your show choir would like to be a part of the National Show Choirs for Thirst movement to provide clean water in Africa, we've raised close to $400,000 through the power of show choir to change the world since 2017, because of show choirs that are willing to jump in and say, yes, I will be part of the solution and help people that are suffering and dying. Then reach out to me at Damonb, D-A-M-O-N-B, Damonb at thirstproject.org. Damonb at thirstproject.org. Blessings to all of you, and I'll be judging about 8 competitions this year, so I'll see a lot of you out there on the road. Bye-bye.